Here I am again. This video is going to be to my daughter, Genevieve Marie. And Jeni is only 8 years old, so I'll probably be dead before she ever sees these videos. But one of the reasons I'm doing these videos is because the Mormon Church says I should have a journal. I should have a journal of my life. Here it is. Here's the journal. Jeni is going to look at this tape maybe when she's 30, 20, I don't know. But I certainly want to give my side of the story. That's what's beautiful about these tapes. Whether people believe me or not is irrelevant. If I don't say anything, then everyone's going to go, what the mother says is the truth, because he never debated it. I learned that lesson. I had a hard lesson in San Luis Obispo, California. When I didn't protest a court hearing, whatever the plaintiff wanted, she got. So anyway, Genevieve, you're just a cute little thing. I remember you when you were born, and I had a lot to do with you being born. Not only did my sperm make you, but I kept your mother from dying of fibromyalgia. It was a brand new disease back then, and I helped find the best Beverly Hills acupuncturist that could relieve her pain and have you born. And after you were born, I took her every week or two, every once or twice a week, to Beverly Hills from Paso Robles, California. It's a hell of a drive, Jeni. And I held you in the car and played with you and changed your diaper and took care of you while your mom was in there getting acupuncture. I also got disability for your mother. She couldn't get it. She wasn't smart enough. And I spent days and months gathering medical information with Social Security and going through the entire disability process. I got disability for your mother. Now let me tell you why I got disability for your mother. She was fired. She was fired for being a lesbian. I'm sorry, Jeni. I just have to tell the truth. Okay? You would never hear this from anybody else. You're going to hear it from your father. Your mother was a lesbian. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian, you know, as long as you don't break the law. Your mother broke the law. She almost went to jail in Colorado, but I'll go back into that a little bit later. When you first came home from the hospital, your mother didn't know crap about taking care of a baby. I'd had 10 or 11 by then, and I did. So I took a lot of care of you. I did a lot of the changing. She did breastfeed you, but I certainly bottle fed you from time to time. And we didn't have time in the morning all the time to bathe 3 people. So when I was in the bathtub, she would put you on my chest and you would just lay there and you're just as cute as could be. And you were a brand new baby, probably a month old, 3 weeks old. And I took care of you and washed you. And then your mother went to work. I was your main caregiver for the first 2 years. Your mother was working and I took care of you. Now let me tell you a few things about your mother that she's never told you. Surprise, she's a Mormon. Surprise. Your mother was a cutter. Look it up on the internet. I'm not going to go into all the blood and guts of a cutter, okay? When I married your mom, she was a cutter, and I told her, you know, there was no more cutting. And we had you, and one day in Tender Heart Ranch, I walked into the bathroom, and your mother was standing there in the shower with blood all over the room. She'd cut her arms, and she'd cut her legs, and you were about 2. You were walking, and I shut the door so you didn't see the blood all over the place. Nice Mormon girl. And I told Sondra, your mother, that if she did any more cutting, I would call social services myself. She's not to be displaying that kind of behavior as a mother and in front of you. Oh, bad dad, no garments. The devil. Yeah, I'm the atheist father, but I protected that child from that bullshit. Now, Jeni, let me tell you what else went on with your mom. She got a job, and I want to be honest with you. I encouraged her to get a job because I thought she needed it, and psychologically, I couldn't see how she was going to lose. I knew she was a convicted sex offender, but I just thought that maybe they wouldn't trace her down, so I take some responsibility for that. Let me tell you why your mother was a sex offender, okay? Basically, your mother was a counselor, a therapist in Colorado. I can't remember the name of the town, but it's one of the suburbs of Colorado there. And when I met her, oh, she had a terrible story. Oh, poor me, poor me. And being a counselor, I go, oh, poor you. When I hear these things, it sounds terrible. Till I heard the other side. So she was being sued by a civil lawsuit from, God, her name slips me now. Anyway, ask your mom, what was the name of the lady that sued you and got $50,000? And then she was, she had an attorney, and the Attorney General of the state of Colorado wanted your mom prosecuted. And I went in to your mom's attorney and counseled with him. And then we called the Attorney General's office, and we kept your mother's ass out of jail in Colorado. That basically we cut a deal. Now here's what your mother was up to and why the state of Colorado, she had a Master of Science, I think an MSW, because she was a counselor. And she was licensed in the state of Colorado. She had her own little business, and her monkey business got her fired. They confiscated and revoked permanently, not a suspension, and not a 2-year revocation. Life. She can never counsel again in Colorado. Well, there's some reciprocal states. California happened to be one of them. And your mom got employed in California. And again, I was your caretaker. I went through all this stuff, taking care of you while your mother was ranting and raving and yelling about she was a satanic ritual abuse survivor. Jenny, that's a lie. She's borderline personality. I have a Master of Science. I know how to read the DSM-4 revised, and one of the reasons me and your mom got divorced is because she's a liar. She's a liar. She's borderline. She is not MPD or dissociative personality or satanic ritual abuse survivor. She ruined your grandfather's life, falsely accusing him. Cal, she falsely accused him and ruined his life. When she was 16, she was at the hamburger stand and said that the boss there molested her. It wasn't true. It ruined his life. And her 5th grade teacher, she accused of molesting her when they were out on a field trip. Ruined his life. None of it was true, Jenny. Not one fact was true. Now let me tell you why your mom lost her license. If you're old enough to see this tape, and you may want to look at it a couple of times, little girl, your mother was counseling a lady, and your mother decided that she was going to start a new counseling technique. She thought it would be good to bring that client woman home with her to her condo and get in bed with her and lick her vagina on several occasions. She also thought it was a good idea because she had read it in a book somewhere, which she didn't. It was Sondra's therapy, to take showers together and masturbate each other in the shower. That's your mother, Jen. Just facts. Take them the way you want. They're just facts. But you know, you would never hear this if you'd had a relationship with your father and she hadn't withheld you. And I'm not going to go to my grave with people pissing on my grave thinking I was a terrible person to you. One day, I saw you in the house. You had a little doll, and you were humping the doll. You were in the missionary position, rubbing your vagina on the doll. I was in shock. You're 2 years old. Where did you see that behavior? Because you'd never seen it from your mother and I. Never. Well, your mother was visiting a couple of lesbians down in Paso Robles and Atascadero. She visited them. And I had hired those 2 lesbians because I'm not prejudiced. As long as they did the work, I didn't care when they shut their bedroom door. I guess I should have, because when they shut the bedroom door, you were in there. And so was your mother. And all 3 of you are, using, or the 3 women were using dildos and humping each other. That's where you saw it. Hey, sorry. I'm just telling you the truth, Jenny, about your mother. Okay? She's a lesbian. She's confessed to being a lesbian 2 or 3 times in college. Then I saw it when I was married to her. And then I saw that she had displayed those behaviors to you. And I told Sondra that if we don't get this straightened out, the school is going to go berserk and think that that child, not think, but know that that child has had inappropriate visual displays of sexual activity. Well, Sondra, you're the Mormon. You're the Mormon. Oh, let's hide. Oh, gosh, let's hide. Here's the Mormon flag. There's the Mormon flag. You're a lying and you're a cheat and you're a person that I thought when I had intercourse with you and we intended to have a baby, you promised that you would never take my baby away. You're a lying piece of shit. The first thing you did was take my baby away. And I've never seen her since. I've never seen her since. Now, Jenny, your mom was an expert in domestic abuse. Boy, she knew that a lot better than I did as a master's level. I didn't work in domestic abuse. She did. And your mom faked different personalities all the time. When she wanted to be over-sexual, it was Amanda. Then when she wanted to be, there was 2 or 3 that she had, that she could excuse her behavior of licking the vaginas of other women because some of the multiple personalities that she split into allowed licking. Jenny, believe it or don't believe it. Go ask your mother. Show your mother this video. Say, is Dad lying? Well, a long story short, I spent a lot of time with you, Jenny, when you were 2. We were in a restaurant. I put this on another video one day, and we had a commercial person, a movie producer, come up and say how cute you were. And you were. You were a little doll. We could never take you anywhere without people just taking you out of our arms and set you like a baby doll. You were so tiny and so beautiful. Well, this director said to me and Mom, we were all sitting at the table at Sondra, who was a theater major. Jenny, she's an actor. Does that fit with what I'm saying? So the producer said to me and Mom, he said, I'd like to put your baby in some commercials. Would that be okay? She's a darling baby. And I said, well, that's a very nice compliment, but I really don't want my little girl involved in that type of industry. And I didn't say this, I just told him no. But I didn't want her on the couch and some old guy saying, hey, you know, let me screw you and pull your panties off you and you can be in the next commercial and be famous. Not that all of them do that, but that is very common in the industry of movie stars. So I said no. Well, 2 weeks later, here comes the camera crew. Right up the driveway, cameras and directors, and I don't know if they were lighting people or whatever. It was daytime in the sun. And they started shooting pictures of Jenny to be in the commercials. And I said to Sondra, what the hell? I said, I thought we decided we didn't want that life for our child. And Sondra, your mother said, because she wants to be an actress and never was. She'll always tell you she was in an episode of Perry Mason. She knew Debbie Reynolds. I don't know. Your mother's such a liar, I don't know. But I know she was a person that wanted to be in the movies and couldn't, and now she could live your life through her eyes and be in the movies, kind of like putting little girls in beauty pageants. So I just walked over to the other side. It was 10 acres. I walked over on the other side of the ranch, and I just said, you know, I don't want anything to do with it. And of course, we didn't discuss that, and I don't know where that went. We got divorced before that ever came to fruition. So I don't know if you've had, you know, movie stars and actors and, you know, more lesbian experiences with your mom. I don't know that. Now, here's the truth about our divorce, okay? Now, your mom's going to tell you a whole bunch of stories. I am bipolar. That's a true statement. Do I yell sometimes? You bet I do. Do I get upset and have a short temper? You bet I do. Have I ever spanked you or hit you? Never. And never. These 2 kids and my other 10 kids, I think between the 10 of them, they got spanked 3 times with a belt that was just short like this, and grounded several times, and that's the abusive man that was your father. Your mom will tell you a terrible story. You were being toilet trained, and I ran daycare centers, and I knew that kids that were late toilet trainers There were some techniques you could use to hurry them along, and one of them was if they crapped their pants, make them pretty much clean themselves up. So one day you crapped your pants, and I did put you in the shower and make you start to clean yourself up a little bit. Oh, abusive. Oh, abusive. Oh, that was the worst thing that I ever did to you, was try to clean your butt in the shower. Well, your mom's going to say that was abusive. It wasn't. Your mom, like I said, was a cutter, and she was a lesbian, and she was practicing her lesbian activities while I was watching you at home. I didn't know that until later. Well, one day, the state of California found out your mother was licking the vaginas of other women when she was a counselor, that she had a sacred responsibility to be a counselor, not to be a lesbian counselor. And so when her job found out about, she was working in Santa Barbara, California. Check this out, Jenny. I'm not lying to you. She was working in Santa Barbara, and the school came to her and said, hey, are you the person that the Attorney General revoked your license and you almost went to jail for licking on other people's vaginas? And well, yeah. They fired her. Right there, Jen. They fired her. Okay? Now they sued her ass. Okay? Because we were getting a residential treatment center together, and Sondra was the director, or the therapist. She was the administrative therapist. The state of California went berserk, and they said, absolutely not. So they sued me and your mother. Not me, your mother's name was on the lawsuit, not mine. I spent 2 or 3 months down in Los Angeles defending your mother, trying to get her, again, to get probation or get some kind of an extension to be able to work. I'm sitting in court. We had a female judge. Ask your mother, Jenny. And Sondra starts going, oh, I've been abused. Oh, I'm satanically, ritually abused. Oh, the Satan is... And she's doing it in front of the damn judge. And I'm sitting there trying to, block her so the judge doesn't see this bullshit. Well, I asked for a continuance, recess, and I got it. And I went out in the hall and I told your mom, stop that shit. That doesn't go well for you in a court of law when you've been accused of being, a therapist that raped and plundered and took money for licking your client's vagina. So I went back in and I defended her the best I could, and you can't polish shit, Jenny. You can't. Now, she was found guilty, and she did lose her ability to be in the state of California in any kind of social work, and she went on a register, so you can look her up. Look her up, Jenny. Brain, look your mother up. She's not allowed to counsel or to be involved in any kinds of treatment of human beings. Now, let's get down. I used to take you in the go-kart every night. Every night, I let you drive the go-kart. I took you up the hill there, and we fed the horse carrots, and we fed the horse apples. And I did let you ride the little bulldozer that we had up there. You loved that little machine. I thought it was a little unusual for a girl to want to ride a bulldozer and the diesel smoke. And you know what else, Jen? I dug on 10 acres, I dug a fence around that whole 10 acres with a little John Deere post hole digger. And you sat in my lap. The whole 3 days, you sat in my lap. And you loved the pulling on the levers, and you loved to watch the drill, and then we'd move and drill the next one, etc. So you and I had a lot of relationship. I watched you all the time in Beverly Hills when you were brand new. I was always the one that bathed you, and I was always the one that took care of you till your mother got fired at the job. Now, we owned the ranch there. I was executive director of the ranch. Now I didn't have a therapist. The state of California said to me, David, your wife can't even be on the grounds. You're a licensed facility, and she is a perpetrator. She must move off. Now, you were only 2.5, 3 years old, and your mother breastfed you till you were 3. That's unusual, Jen. Look it up. Look it up how many kids are breastfed till they're 3. So now I had a decision as a father. I respected your mother, which I don't know why. But anyway, I was concerned about your future and your protection. And so I said, well, I can kick the mother off the ranch, but then I'm here with the baby all alone, and the baby is breastfed, and the baby does need a mother. So the choice was give up oh God, what was it? I don't know, $200,000 or $300,000 ranch that I had built, and shut it down and not have the residential kids come in and pay for, the mortgage and the $150,000 well that I drilled for water, and just send you and your mom off. Well, to me, that just broke the whole family up. So I was a good husband. I wasn't this. I didn't have my garments and, and I wasn't, sucking on other people's weenies, and I wasn't, being immoral. I was the moral one in this relationship. So, long story short, I found, because I was the executive director of the Tender Heart Ranch Corporation, it was a 501(c)(3). I wrote the Articles of Incorporation. I hired the board, and the board elected me to be president. Well, when your mom got fired from the Tender Heart Ranch board and from the property, she had no right to be there. She had no right to be on that property. Now, I had a new van. And a Cadillac. We had 2 company cars. And your mom one night, I don't know what it was. I remember what it was. I told her, I've been reading the DSM-4 revised, and I think she lied to me. She's not multiple personality disorder. She's borderline, and your mom is a smart girl. Your mom is a smart girl. She knew if she told people she was borderline, she would never have a job, she would never get married, and she would never have any kind of a life. So she lied, just like she did on her father, Cal, the 5th grade teacher, and the other person that I mentioned. She ruined all of their lives. So she jumps in the Tender Heart van. It's registered to Tender Heart. I'm the executive director. I'm responsible for that property. She drives off with you in the van. I go, holy shit. I've got an unlicensed, well, she had a driver's license, but she didn't have permission to take a company car. And if she wrecked it, and they said, oh, you let your wife drive the car, and she wrecked it, you owe us $30,000. So I jumped in my car, and I went down the hill after your mom, and you're in the car seat, and your mom is driving down the dirt road. And I tried to drive up beside her on the dirt road and rolled my window down and said, Sondra, you don't have permission or right to drive that vehicle. The board is going to just go berserk, turn it around, go home. Well, she rolled her window up and took off. Well, I started following her, and I know Sondra, she's so good in faking domestic violence. And I knew the police would soon be up behind the both of us. And they were, and I pulled over, and she pulled over. And the police came to me first and said, what's going on here? And I said, well, I'm the director of Tender Heart Ranch. I gave him my business card, and I said, that's my wife up there, and she's not authorized to be driving that vehicle, and I'm trying to get her to take that vehicle home before she's charged with either auto theft or an accident. He said, okay. So he went up to Sondra, and you were sitting there, Jenny, and you certainly don't remember, and he said, what the hell? And she told him the same story, and he told her, turn this van around and take it home, or I'm taking you to jail. He gave her a chance. I followed her, took her home. Well, we had a conversation after that, and boy, I could see the handwriting on the wall, Jenny Bear. You were standing beside your mom out front of the Tender Heart Ranch house, and your mother said to me, well, I have lots of people that I know that will testify that you molested Jenny. I'm saying to myself, ooh, where did that come from? I'm sure just like her father won't even talk to her. And that's why I'm doing these tapes too, because I don't want to talk to her either. She's crazy and she's very dangerous. And I knew where she was going. I knew exactly where she was going. She doesn't get her way. Everybody is a child molester who has a penis. And you were standing right there, and I looked at you, and then I said to your mother, I said, if I have to lose that child to save my reputation, I've worked with children my whole life. I've never had a complaint or an accusation, and you're not going to be the first one. So I drove off. That's the last I saw of the girl. I drove off. It's the last I saw of the girl. It's the last I saw of my child. I went right to social services and accused the mother of child molestation because Jeni is humping the doll. And I knew that's exactly where Sondra was going to go. I beat her by a day, and social services called me up and said, you know, we understand you've made a complaint and now your wife has made a complaint. Well, they knew now that both of us were probably innocent, but I didn't teach Jeni to hump any dolls. Sondra did that, Jeni. So, I want to say on this video, you know, I'm going to go ahead, Jeni, and we don't have a relationship. Your mother has stopped that relationship. She's a good Mormon girl, and I assume you've been raised in the Mormon church. And you can hate me too, that's fine. But I'm not going to have false accusations against me by Mormons that are not true and are going to ruin my degree, my reputation, my ability to work. I've been retired for 15 years. I'm not going back to work, but the principle is still the same. I'm going to die knowing that I treated my children well, and a lot of my children were trash. Now, I'm not saying, Jeni, you're trash because I haven't met you and I don't know you. But I don't want to be involved with you because your mother is a nutcase. And no matter what I say to you, no matter what I do to you, she's going to accuse me of molestation. She has pushed you so far away from a father being able to associate with you. If you have any trepidations or being sad or whatever, you don't have a father, talk to your mother. Talk to your Mormon mother. She's the one that basically killed your father. So, Jeni, I'm sorry, but I'm dead, and you can go find another father, but when you find him, please make sure that he knows that your mother lies to the court and knows domestic abuse and uses that like a sword. Sorry, I don't like to get stuck with a sword. So, Jeni, you need a new father too. Sorry, thanks.